Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me clearly? Hello?
Very clear,
Okay.
Secretary.
Yeah, you are audible and clear.
Okay. Thank you, sir, madam. Um, my name is Suren Zannat. I'm working as a communication officer in CIRDAP. So welcome our webinar series 2022. So today is a very important, sorry. Uh, Today is a very important day for CIRDAP, actually, because this is the 43rd anniversary of CIRDAP. And uh, so our today's webinar topic will be related to CIRDAP also, and also World Rural Initiative also. So before starting our webinar, I would like to say something about our organization. CIRDAP is a regional and intergovernmental and autonomous organization, which was established on this day in 1979 with the initiative of Asia Pacific region's country and also Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. You can see we have 15 member states in this map, and our host country is Bangladesh, and our headquarters in Dhaka city. This organization operates through designated contact ministries and link institutions of member countries. Uh, so today we are going to celebrate 43rd years of CIRDAP, and you can see our headquarters, the beautiful Chamili House in Dhaka city. This is a 100-year-old building. Um, so now I would like to invite our Honorable Director General, Dr. Cherdsak Virapat, to provide his message for 43rd anniversary of CIRDAP. Sir.
Thank you very much, Ms. Janet, for your introduction. Uh, good morning, Excellencies, expert of CIRDAP, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great honor and pleasure to address the 43rd anniversary of the organization today. Let us celebrate together our past achievements and continue to have our strong commitment on our future actions, which will improve the quality of life and economic development of rural people. On 21st of April this year, the Governing Council of CIRDAP at its 23rd session held in Bangkok, Thailand, endorsed the initiative to establish the World Rural Development Day on 6th of July 2022 and to have the Secretariat proceed to start the process for the United Nations International Day through Food and Agriculture Organization FAO for the UN General Assembly meeting at the same time. It can be noted that the date of 6 July has been proposed to the UNFAO since 15 December 2020 and to the CIRDAP member state for the establishment. And the proposal can also be proposed to the UN General Assembly directly by the member state to accelerate the process because through the FAO it will take around a minimum of 4 years. So it can take up more years before it can be officially announced at the UN General Assembly. On this occasion, I would like to declare the establishment of the World Rural Development Day at CIRDAP. I hope that Bangladesh and other member states will be able to propose it at the UN as the UN International Day to the upcoming UN General Assembly in New York. Thank you very much. The full statement of my message can be found at the UN, the CIRDAP website, which will provide you with more detail. So today I would like to shortly address and introduce you to the World Rural Development Day, because I'm going to give a presentation later on. Thank you very much. So back to you, Miss Janet.
Thank you, sir. Uh, Now, before our today's webinar, I would like to say some of our upcoming webinars also. So in next month, okay. In August, we will have webinar on sustainable development goals, research and responses. The title is Carbon Sequestration of Public Parks and Urban Greening Improvements in a Megacity. Then in September, there will be webinar on climate smart water management in the context of Pakistan. Then on 3rd October, which is World Habitat Day, the webinar will be on loss of wetland, habitats in developing countries, challenges and way forward. And then 13 October and 15 October will be two important days for us. In 13 October is International Day on Disaster Risk Reduction, and 15 October, International Day of Rural Women. And there will be more webinars in upcoming days. Please stay tuned with us. Um, Now, about our today's webinar, the title is World Rural Development Day. What is it? Why does it matter? And how to get involved? So I would like to say a few words about our today's speaker, Dr. Cherdsak Virapat. Uh, Before CIRDAP, he was Executive Director of International Institute for Trade and Development, which is public organization in Thailand. He was also Director General of Network of Aquaculture Centers in Asia Pacific, NACA, and Executive Director of International Ocean Institute, IOI, headquarters in Malta. He worked in various ministries within Thailand public service in a span of 28 years. Dr. Cherdsak Virapat, achieved his PhD degree in fisheries management from Dalhousie University, Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. To, to know more about him and his works, you can visit our expert database, which is expert.citap.org. Uh, uh, Before starting our webinar, I would like to draw a few quick points to you. Please let us know in chat box your name, your designation in your organization. If you have any questions, suggestions, or opinions, please also drop us that in chat box. Humble request to you all, please switch off your microphone during the presentation. You can also follow us in our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and you can also visit our CIRDAP website, which is www.cirdap.org. Thank you. Now I uh, welcome our Honorable Director General to start his presentation.
Thank you very much, Ms. Janet, for your nice introduction. Could you please allow me to share screen, please?
Okay, now you can share, sir.
Okay, let me start the presentation. My topic today is the World Rural Development Day. What is it? Why does it matter? And how to get involved? In fact, we plan to celebrate our 43rd anniversary today by inviting the Honorable Prime Minister of Bangladesh to um, to preside over. But because of myself got sick last week due to the pandemic, so we have to postpone it, and it will be organized later by the end of this month. So today we do not have the ceremony at our office, as I am still under quarantine. Um, I I'd like to begin with the question: what is the World Rural Development Day? But before that, I like to consult with you, participant. You know that you may know that how many international day that established by the UN so far. Anyone know? You know, because if you can pass through your experiences, you will find that there's so many days established by UN as an international day, that those international day dealing with variety of issues. It may name according to person, according to environment, according to sometime objects, like bicycle, World Bicycle Day or something like that. Or there's so many things about disease, tuberculosis day and others. You know, I have looked through the international day established by UN, and I found that there are 177 days so far. So almost 50% of the 365 days a year. And many of those establishments has their concept, but the most important is to trying to bring the worldwide attention on the subject or on the issue of concern, and trying to link that to a global community from national to local level, so that it can build up the awareness at on the ground and be able to uh, work together in order to bring in the kind attention of the issue of concern. So the World Rural Development Day also lie within this concept, and it proposed to be celebrated every 6th of July, which is coincide with the establishment day of the CIRDAP in since 1979, but 43 years now. And the reason is to inform and remind everyone on their roles and responsibilities for how they can work together on the rural development as outlined in the SDG goals. And it is to ensure that no one will be left behind. You see, even though CERDAP ourselves have 15 member countries, but it's very important to point out that in the Asia Pacific region, there are more than 50 countries, and it's very important to engage them all, you know, because we are living in the same world, and we need to connect to everyone, even though our membership is just 15 country, but we should connect to other country as well, even though they are not per se officially member, but it should be connected. As well as I note that the Excellency Secretary General Ado is here also. We connect with the South-South collaboration. We could connect with Africa and other region of the world as well, so that we can work together. And the rural development is everyone's duty and responsibility. And as I already mentioned that the 6th of July has been proposed to UNFAO 2 years ago, almost 2 years, and also for the member state to for the establishment, and it has been endorsed by the councils last April. And to generate or establish the Rural Development Day is an opportunity, to call for global attention and response, and to accelerate action, as I already mentioned, Sustainable Development Goal in 2030. And it's very important to understand that the rural area should not be considered as a pocket of poverty, because it's the area where you produce food for people. It's the area where your resource base are built there, including forestry, including water resources, soil resources, and others, maintain ecosystem and support food production, as well as socioeconomic and livelihoods of people. And why the Rural Development Day matters. You can see that the UN Foundation has proposed for recognition that there are 5 global trends that need to be addressed at the moment. The first issue, very important one, is after the COVID pandemic, recovery and response. You have to deal with them because during the last 2 years we are all impacted, and how are we going to manage now the recovery and respond. The second one is the problem and impact of climate change and disaster, natural disaster. You can see that the flood, earthquake that happened. We are watching the earthquake recently. Yesterday, uh, several earthquakes near Nicobar and Bahrain Island of India. That trigger due to the movement of crust, and it may be generate a strong earthquake and tsunami. It may be, but this kind of issue that happen at the moment. So climate change impact that, even though in the past it's changed slowly, but now you can see many evidence of the impact of climate change upon in a big scale impact. Then the third trend is on the poverty. You still that people still poverty, and it's said that more and more poverty occur now because of so many problems happen. COVID, after COVID, many people become poorer and so on. Then the next one is on the inequality, human right, because of the problem of inequality, and and the last one is humanitarian crisis. As you can see that we start to have conflict and wars. So these are 5 global trends that needs to be addressed, and therefore uh, there are many burning issues in our region, Asia Pacific region, and of the world, that we require immediate attention. And from the information uh, obtained, estimate 87% of the world 500 million farmers are in Asia Pacific region, and we hope that establishment of the World Rural Development Day will help inform the public on the important role uh, of rural area development worldwide, and create a worldwide movement to improve the quality of marginalized people, and improve their well-being as well. Why is current situation particularly important? Um, it's very vital to increase economic activity and employment opportunity in fight against poverty in rural area, as well as in the aftermath of the COVID-19, where small scale and subsistence farmers are living. And now, according to FAO, almost 690 million people are undernourished in 2019. But you may now note that the figure has increased, and almost 46% children under 5 of South Asia is underweight. And according to the recent report on SDG progress by the UNSCAP, the Asia Pacific region may achieve less than 10% of the SDG target by 2030. So this worry us that uh, what we propose to to reach may not be happen. So we need to do something in order to accelerate such action. And as you know, it's all part of the 2030 agenda of sustainable development adopted by UN member to end poverty and other deprivation, reduce inequality, uh, improve economic growth, tackle climate change, sustainable management of terrestrial ecosystem, forests, ocean, and resource therein. So this corresponds very well with the five global trends provided by the UN Foundation. Now, who can get involved in this World Rural Development Day? I must say that everyone can get involved, and in particular, CIRDAP, its partner, research institute, government, non-government organization, business, communities around the world can plan their local and global events involving million of people. And of course, you do not need to be part of this group to get involved. Your own person, you can also get involved. And we can organize virtually now, and meaning everyone can hear from the relevant talks. And we expect many millions of people discuss it on this online and in the social media. So this will be everyone duties and responsibility. Now, in order to take action, you know, if you have been working with non-governmental organizations, you know that the way of NGOs quite amazing, because they can work from the international, regional, national, and local level. So they connect different level together, and so that is important for the government, for private sector as well, to deal with those issues, because you cannot just work on one particular level, but you should connect them to all the level. And the way you can plan for your events, it may be with arts. You can have a drawing competition, you can have exhibition, you can have a kind of education event, festival, or even though the cleanup, like in the World Ocean Day, they have a beach cleanup. That's to not just to clean everything, but to show that they have a responsibility to clean those garbage on the beach that left over by other peoples. And other competition, pledge and commitment that you want to do something in the future, you can tell people that you want to do that, and then you do it. Awareness raising, especially for youth, because they are the generation to come, and to be responsible for the work you are doing now, and those are important. Tree planting may be organized by a government or scientific organization, and as well as other. So there's so many activity that you can propose to do it. And I think that I'm going to stop now, so that in the discussion you can you can tell me how do you think about how we are going to work together, and be able to generate the connectivity within the scope of the world, so that we can connect to everyone in all parts of the world, be able to make a movement, a worldwide movement, and to bring to the attention that the rural area is so important for us to address, and to be able to conserve, be able to promote, in order to maintain the resource base of humanity in the rural area. So these are important issue that I want to address today. So now I think I will end my presentation uh, now, and we'll go to the discussion session. Thank you very much. So back to you, Miss Janet.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful presentation. Now we are open our floor to the questions and your views, your recommendation, please, to our speaker. Please, you can ask him directly, or you can drop question in our chat box, so I can read it out from your side.
I
Please.
think we have half an hour for
Yeah.
discussion. Okay,
Yes.
thank you,
Yes.
thank you.
We have half an hour.
Yes, plenty of time. Yes, please. Any comments, any question we can share and discuss, please.
Uh, this is Muhammad Israr. Am I allowed to speak?
Yes, yes, please. Thank you very much. Please.
First of all, I'm just going to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Israr, and I'm presently working as Secretary Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Cooperative Department in Government of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, which is one of the province of Pakistan. And recently, I have been nominated as IRD expert for rural development in CIRDAP. And I'm thankful to all of the dignitaries and the excellencies for my nomination as IRD expert. And really, it's a great honor for me that today on 43rd anniversary of CIRDAP and especially World Rural Development Day, I'm joining this conference formally first time in CIRDAP platform. So, Director General, Excellency, you have rightly mentioned that the world is facing acute problems of poverty, especially in rural areas, and how to address the rural poverty through different initiatives. So I would share that you rightly mentioned that, first of all, our natural resources are depleting, soil and land that is also exposed to erosion, water logging, and beside that, the population growth in most of the developing countries is increasing very rapidly, and ultimately there is a threat to our lands as the people will be in need of housing units. So I think the awareness is supposed to be developed among the masses that they should go for vertical constructions so that little mass of land could be utilized and the major chunk couldn't be wasted. Besides that, water is also becoming scarce commodity, and we are over exploiting water, and mostly in developing countries, we are using flood irrigation for the irrigation of crops. So I think there is a need that we should switch over to high efficiency irrigation system like drip irrigation and sprinkler irrigation system so that the water, which is a scarce commodity, could be conserved for our future generations. Besides that, you mentioned the climate change. So climate change is also posing a great threat. And in most of the countries, deforestation is being carried out. But you mentioned in your last part of presentation that if we go for plantation of trees and could create awareness among the youth and to the school kids and general communities, I think we can practice agroforestry and plantation of trees. So the threat uh, which is in the type of glacial outburst. Floods are coming in most of the highlands areas. So with the forestation, I think we can reduce the erosion of soil, and also we can go for protection of the uh, natural resources. You rightly mentioned that poverty is very prevalent in rural areas, and definitely we will have to create job opportunities so that the local skills could be developed. And in most of the cases, those farming communities are supposed to be trained in the better utilization of the agricultural inputs so that they can get maximum crop productivity from their lands and from their available resources. So I assure you that in government of Pakistan, we have initiated some of the initiatives, and we would love that all those initiatives could be shared over with member countries. And beside that, I would love to hear from our other member countries that what sort of initiatives they are being taking for addressal of the poverty and for conservation of the natural resources. So I'm thankful to all of you and all of the participants, and hope so that we will be having a very close collaboration for the conservation of our natural resources and for the rural development of our all member nations. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your comments. I think anyone else? I think Dr. Virapat is left the room. I think his connection is cut out. So let us wait for a few moments for him to come back. In the meantime, you can drop your suggestion, comments, or questions in our chat box, please.
In progress.
I'm sorry.
Are you there, sir?
So
Yeah,
I
okay.
moved. Do you? Yeah, I use that because there is no internet in my area.
We can hear you clearly right now, sir. Okay.
All right. Okay. Isra has finished comments.
Are you sure, sir, is finished?
Yes, I have finished, sir.
Thank you so much for your comments and supportive. I hope that your present and your the new role of IRD expert for CIRDAP will highlight and enhance our works significantly. We will meet from now before the next technical committee in September, and hopefully we can generate several ideas and initiative and action in order to bring more and more tangible and practical work to the rural development. At the end of the year, we also have flagship training, which will have a holistic view of integrated rural development, governance, trade, and sustainable development. 3 weeks training program, and there's so many things to work on. I saw that Professor Popo want to say some word.
Not really. Thank you very much, Dr. Virapat. Actually, when you look at all these, what I call special days for doing something, as you have mentioned, United Nations have chopped or what they call commandate half the year's days for specific occasions, you know, for different things, for agriculture, for climate change, for women, for children, for medical care, etc., etc. My little experience out there in the rural areas in Southeast Asia is that the work, for example, of this type that was carried out by organizations, carried out by government or by non-government organization, by volunteers, I think it's very good. There's no doubt about it. The spirit behind, and you got some individuals, the pioneers who work very hard. The only problem I see when I go out, for example, in mangrove planting, is that they can start the mangrove planting very well, but there's no carry through because there's no maintenance. And you find that a large percentage of the newly planted mangroves will die within a short time. So I think that is one of the big problems is that there is sometimes no carry through effort because of the lack of personnel or the lack of money. I think funding is very important. You see, the funding must be there to make sure that when you talk about planting trees or planting mangroves or doing whatever you want, must be there to see that the project goes through successfully at least 70-80% right through the end. Because most of the lot of effort is done in front of the what I call the newspaper, and photographs are taken, and you say this is a big day, and you see everybody shaking hands, waving flags, and then months later, a few years down the line, the project is forgotten or actually is a failure. I think this is a sad part of it, you know. So I think it's very, very important to have a carry through what they call framework, to make sure that whatever you initiate on that particular day remain there at least 70 to 80% and carry out successfully. That's the only major comment I want to make. All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I know that you experience this kind of things, that people are doing things just one day and then left the without anything. That affect any part of the world. No way. Sometimes work is done by government, many of them by government. Sometimes it's done by private sector that interest in particular part of their project, and without more and expanding of the knowledge to public at large, and people do not know what is going on on the ground, you know, and once they know, they said, oh, we should have been participated in that also, because we live there. Why don't we know about it, and so on. So this kind of thing, we during the day may not solve all the problem, but generate this day we need to know what to do. For example, it will be next step that I'm going to bring about. You know, like World Ocean Day, I have been dealing with World Ocean Day. The World Ocean Day is established since 2000, you know, since the Rio summit. And before UN adopt it into the International Day, it takes 9 years. So in 2009, it's adopted. But before that, 9 years before earlier, NGO has already started doing some work on the ground in order to make this Ocean Day become important. And nowadays, you can see after how many years, 22 years now, the World Ocean Day become important, become so important, and they want to do something, not only one day, but to generate, work together, connect to each other. They even set up an organization to coordinate among different level of organization. They generate a map showing each year what kind of activity are doing around the globe, and what kind of project, what kind of activity are doing. Sometimes it's project, not only one day project, but a year project, 2 years project. So this kind of thing, we could see the holistic picture of activities around the globe. And I want to do the same also to coordinate among them and be able to present this to worldwide attention. So, but for detail of each project, it need to be stakeholder to work together, and the role of expert also. CIRDAP can have role. We have expert now, almost 100 expert now in different countries. So expert can also help advise and to see the gaps when somebody doing something on the ground and not really on the right way, could advise them and trying to engage more people. And that I think that this is the way I want to generate the day, because I have next step to do it. Not just only announce the day and then finish. No, this is just beginning. We're going to have organization looking after this coordination uh, in every part of the world. Thank you. And the work will not end in my term. It will continue. My term is another 2 years. It will not be finished. It will continue. Yes. Thank you. Any more comments and questions?
Can I make?
Yes, please.
Yeah, my name is Durga Paudyal. I was also the Director General of CIRDAP.
Okay, our former Director General.
Yes,
from Nepal. Yes.
from Nepal. First of all, I'd like to congratulate CIRDAP for for celebrating the founding anniversary. I'm very happy to be part of it. And secondly, I'm very grateful to CIRDAP for awarding me the Rural Development Medal. And I'm looking forward the appropriate ceremony where the medal will be conferred to me. So thank you so much. Now, I want to make a few points for your kind consideration. First is that CIRDAP is even more important in the and more relevant in the post-COVID situation, because many of the world reports have suggested that more and more people have slipped into the poverty line, below the poverty line. Therefore, the work for CIRDAP has gone up more and more, increased more, perhaps. Therefore, CIRDAP could be a kind of center of excellence for discussing rural development issues, exchanging ideas across CMCs, and what can be learned from each other in the coming days. So in order to do that, I have a few suggestions for your kind consideration. One is that CIRDAP should request the government of Iran to complete its commitment, that is the construction of 5th and 6th floor of CIRDAP International Conference Center that it has committed in 2012. So I think they have not paid their contribution. Also, that's what I was told. But anyway, CIRDAP should request through the embassy that we are very much looking forward that CIRDAP, Iran could complete the 5th and 6th floor of the International Conference Center. The 5th and 6th floor of the International Conference Center was meant to be the hostel, dormitory for dignitaries. That is, that will be the dignitaries' dormitory center, dormitory space. Now, once CIRDAP is equipped with the dormitory in its conference center, then it will be very easy to invite all the dignitaries, ministers, and secretaries from Asia-Pacific region and organize frequent meetings with a very low cost, because CIRDAP will have all the facility, conference facility, as well as staying facilities. Then it will be very easy and very cheap, because nowadays CIRDAP can request the member countries to bear their own travel cost. So once you have the hosting facilities, then it will be very easy, and you can organize many seminars and discussion of dignitaries from across the region. Then then you can generate knowledge and more sort of attention of the member countries. This is what I think, and our new DG will request the Iran government of Iran and get their commitment completed so that all the facilities of CIRDAP will be completed. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your kind support for me to talk to the government of Islamic Republic of Iran. I think that we try our best, even though the membership contribution, because of the many sanctions on Iran at the moment, and we understand when member country faced with crisis, not only political crisis but economic crisis after the COVID-19, many countries are not in the position to contribute membership fee, and I believe that now we have many countries facing with economic crisis at the moment. So in order to work with them, we work with them in a better way and trying to support them, but not to ask for money and money all the time during this difficult time. So we need to go through this difficult time together, in not to put pressure more on our members, you know. So this I think that my direction will trying to work with them as much as possible, but not to put more pressure on.
DG, can I just intervene on this?
Yes, please.
At that time also, when I was there in 2012, when we were in Tehran.
It's now 10 years ago, right?
It is exactly 10 years today. When we were in Iran, Iran had
2012, right?
2012. Iran had said that they had a problem of
10 years ago
in converting into dollar. They have no problem in money. They have no problem in money. They have problem only in converting in dollars.
Right.
Therefore,
we can discuss that after the webinar, sir. Okay. So we should concentrate on the topic that we are discussing. Okay.
Thank you.
We can talk with. Okay. Thank you very much. I know that someone is requesting to speak. Please.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Mr.
Can
Mansoor Malik.
Yes.
Please.
Thank you very much. Very good morning to everybody. I'm Dr. Mansoor Malik from Pakistan on the panel of CIRDAP. Dr. Shif Saad, thank you very much for very nice and wonderful presentation this morning. And I appreciate the initiative taken by the CIRDAP for arranging this webinar and a series of similar webinars, and the initiative taken regarding the that is the right step in the right direction. Rural people are very poverty-stricken people, but they have access to natural resources as well. More access to natural resources than anybody else are those people living in the urban areas. The urban people merely add value to the byproduct that is produced by the rural people. And very often, or most of the time, the natural resources are scattered around those rural people, and they do not realize, or they are not made to realize that how they can make use of those natural resources for value addition and for generating livelihood and for their socio-economic uplift. I will give an example of Pakistan, in some area in Pakistan. I was given the task for uh, addressing the issue of waterlogging in one part of my country, and we carried out some project, but that project did not work. The ultimate solution came to our mind that why not though that waterlogged area be converted into fish ponds, and that idea worked. And now that waterlogged area is more expensive and more productive in terms of producing fish, and is the central market fish market. Similarly, in the nearby part, there were tall grasses on the waterlogged area, and we built the capacity of those people for using those aquatic grasses for making the mats, and they are now producing mats and earning the money. The point I want to make is that there is a need to to build the capacity of rural community and to identify for them what are the natural resources and are scattered around them, and how they can make best use of those resources for generating a livelihood for themselves and for their socio-economic uplift. So that was my one point. My brother, Secretary Agriculture from KP, he raised very pertinent issues. For instance, he raised the issue of vertical urbanization, horizontal urbanization. I have written a blog last week on that issue. It is really a big issue in Pakistan, and that is depriving the urban community from their livelihood. And I will not go into the detail of that, but if we go from horizontal urbanization to vertical urbanization, that will have many benefits like reduction in the urban flooding, increase in groundwater recharge, mitigating the reduction of agricultural areas. At the same time, my brother pointed out that water scarcity, and really Pakistan is a water scarce country. Uh, and so we are promoting high efficiency irrigation system, and there are many projects are being launched. But the issue I wanted to share this with my brother Secretary Agriculture. The issue is that the high efficiency irrigation system which we are providing to the farmers on subsidized rate is in fact substandard, and the trust of the farmer is breached after a few years. So we are not getting a good result for upscaling that high efficiency irrigation system. So these are the 2 points which I wanted to share with my brother from KP. So I think regarding the capacity building of the rural community, we are supposed to engage the NGOs, and they might we should build the capacity of NGOs. They can identify the natural sources of region specific natural resources, and then those may impart training and build the capacity of the local community for making use of those natural resources, so that they would be able to generate their own livelihood. That was my point. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much for your comment and suggestion. I know that Pakistan is one of the country who specialize in irrigation system, right? You're well known in the past on irrigated system, and that would be useful as one of the model for development in other developing country, So itself is a platform that can share the knowledge and be able to transfer the knowledge from member state to member state, and be able to apply technology, past technology as well as local knowledge, to merge local knowledge and new technology together to be able to apply in their local area, because population growth is everywhere. Uh, right now, we increase number of population, and we target to we are now 7 billion, right? And we target to have it in the next 20 years, 9 billion. So more and more people will be increased, and you have problem now with the crisis of migration from place to place due to the war, due to the movement, and so on. So this is something that add up into how we're going to support community, the movement community, the human right issue that come up, how we're going to give them education. That's also basic problem. How a migratory family has the same right for education, how they have right to utilize their, which not their home before, they come and stay as a second home, and so on. So there's so many issues to be discussed and to be dealing with. But in common, when we have something in common, people who live in their country already, so of course they need to make use of resources efficiently. As you know, with number of population moving from rural to urban, so we need to look into that, because they come to urban area to find jobs, and because they don't know what to do in their rural areas, and so on. So this kind of thing that we need to put more efforts to rural development, and be able to maintain a population over there, protecting the resources, and as you said, value added of some of the resources that I can utilize, be able to gain some benefit for their well-being, and so on. So this kind of thing need to be planned, and to look through. We have thinking about how we identify the poorest of the society. Where are they, and how are we going to work with them in order to improve their production, employment, and income, and that's also one of the target, that we utilize the data in order to map the poverty area, and utilize this kind of planning in order to deal with the issue, because you need to know where is your target groups, and trying to bring policy into practice. You know that nowadays we have policy, but transform policy into practice, we can find that most of them not make it effectively. So we need to fill the gap of transforming policy into practice, and how and who are going to transform that, because most of people want to plan, want to do policy things, but nobody can transform it into practice, and so on. So this kind of thing, we need to look into it, and I think that your knowledge can help, and every part of the world, we have people like you, and so that people continue working, and as you can say, you can see government people, they have a certain period of works. After retirement they don't work, or few of them will work, but how can they continue working? Because they have accumulated so much knowledge and experiences. So one way is to trying to deal with retired person, and be able to have them help with their knowledge and experiences, and not to stop their work immediately after retirement, because they are person have been built by the government to do the work, so they continue until their life. Why not? Yeah, so this kind of thing should be thought about, instead, but in order to do that, because you think that old people have no use, no, if they're still healthy, they can continue working, can continue contribute to a certain extent, in their own capacity. Any more comment?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The CIRDAP Secretariat, Miss Janet.
Yes, sir. I think Miss Rakhi Bura raised her hand.
Oh, okay, please.
Miss Rakhi Bura, are you there? You have raised your.
How many? How long will it take?
Yes, I'm here,
Yeah.
Ms. Janet. Thank you so much. So this is me, Rakhi Borua. I work for an NGO. It's a national organization, and I'm not associated with any government agencies. But we do sincerely appreciate the initiative of CIRDAP come forward to announce the 6th of July as the Rural Development Day. So I would like to reflect my experience as a development worker. As I said before, I'm not associated with any government agency, so I'm not a government employer. But as a development worker for last 16 years, I do have some experiences. Na? While working with the people who lives at the very rural areas of Bangladesh. I'm from Bangladesh, no? I'm from Bangladesh, and most of us still with the is majority of our community people, they are living in the rural areas, and they are the people. I mean, those are we are reaching to the unreached people, and we have observed the 10th October at the World Rural Women Day. So from now on, we will observe 6th of July as the World Rural Day. So I think my reflection is by utilizing, by observing this 6th of July as a World Rural Day or Rural Day, even at our SARC region, in the Asia Pacific region, maybe we would be jointly, we would be able to sensitize people the importance of definitely people who are living there at the rural areas. Let me share you my recent experiences. So think about the health, think about water, sanitation, hygiene, the standard of community clinics, standard of education, standard of other facilities. If I mean, without putting things into perspective, we cannot, as such saying, we cannot transfer policy, we cannot effectively transfer all these policies into practices. So these observing World Rural Day on 6th of July will enable us to see all those things, comparison between people living in the urban areas and the people living in the rural areas. And as part of my profession, I work with the people with the persons with disabilities, or the women, or the indigenous community in Bangladesh, in these areas, and the most poverty-zone areas of Bangladesh and the most rural areas. So we have seen how people are living there. What is the situation of, what is the utmost scenario of their vulnerabilities in the people who are living in the rural areas, standard of community clinic. So here, so I think we need both government and NGO collaboration. Just my previous speaker, he also mentioned that to building capacity of rural community, to strengthen the agencies of rural communities, we need to work with government and non-government organization. In 2019 CDD, Center for Disability Development, we have organized training for 80 local government functionaries on inclusive rural development and inclusive rural development and local governance. So we need to reach to all those LGI functionaries to improve all these things. So anyway, thank you so much for inviting us. I'm also IRD expert of CIRDAP, and Bangladesh is lucky that I mean, CIRDAP is here at Dhaka city, so we can really connect. It's easy for us to connect with them. So I think we need more dialogue, more such webinar with us. And another thing for example, another thing today, the mode of communication is in English. would it be possible in near future, like to physically arrange something, some dialogue where even it can be started from Bangladesh, like our rural people or all those LGA functionaries, they will come, CIRDAP can organize, so they will reflect about themselves, and maybe in Bangla also it can be happen, so that we can, more people will be access to this philosophy. It's a philosophy. We have to see in these things not as a professional, in a philosophical way na? Then by heart we can work on these issues. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, CIRDAP. Thank you. That's it for me.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you, sir. We have still 5 to 10 minutes go. We can. If anyone wants to say anything, please.
I just want to add, because after listening to Ms. Raki Barua, I'd like to say that when you look at let's say we look at the pyramid, you know, pyramid like a triangle pyramid of responsibility. You see that the international level is in the apex of the pyramid. Then you have the below regional organization. Then you go down wider. You have national, and then at the base, local level. If we look at this at functioning of many level engagement like this, so you can see that most of the work at the epic level, part of that determine the framework for implementation at national and local level. And it's not easy if a government who are the most important player in terms of mobilizing this framework into practice at the local level, because the number of people who on the ground, there are so much. If you can see the base of pyramid, there's so many there, and the activity that you're dealing with people on the ground that need to be more than what they are doing on the epic level, you know. But to me, we not do enough works on the ground, and this is important that we have to stimulate it. We have to trying to announce how are we going to deal with all of them, and connect to digitalization, to let them know online, social media, and in appropriate way, so that they know that it's not because we are ignoring, but because we cannot reach you, because your number exceed our number. One of us could not reach you, and so on. So this kind of thing, I can give you example in case of disaster risk reduction. You have to tell people how them going to prevent themselves from disaster, and then they can help themselves, but not you going to help them, because you will not be able to do that, because the number of population on the ground are so much, so many, and you cannot reach them, but you can tell them what to do, and they are able to understand, be able to apply their knowledge into practice, into the operation way on the ground. So this kind of thing should happen, you know, because the management on the ground should be managed by people, but managed by people through our cooperation. We give them some scientific knowledge, give them some idea and so on, and work together on the ground. So this is the only way to achieve. Otherwise, you are working high up in the epic, and nothing impact on the ground. This is just my idea to tell you how we have to identify, and how we're going to stimulate it, how we're going to activate it, you know. Thank you. Any more comment, please? I hope you hear what I told you. My internet is not so good. Uh, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Any more comments and questions? You have 5 minutes to go.
Sir, I do have one. In your speech, you have mentioned to include remaining countries in the Asia Pacific, I
Mm,
mean, beyond these 15
mhm.
CMCs, CEDAP member countries, how would that be possible? And is your thinking? So after you are with CEDAP for next 2 years, so then someone will come. So that person need to carry out your thinkings, these philosophies, all those things. Because there should be
Yes,
breeze before you leave.
yes, yes,
Otherwise,
yes.
it is just 5 year, 5 year, 5 year plans.
Okay, I think you should be able to answer your own question. Uh, when I said in the beginning that I initiate the World Rural Development Day, is world. The first word is world. It's not region. It's not CIRDAP, Rural Development Day. It's the World Rural Development Day. So it's the day that create for everyone, whether or not you are a CIRDAP member or not. You recognize this day as the Rural Development Day. And that's the reason that I want to create it, so that I can reach everyone in all parts of the world and tell them that you have role to play. You have role to play, even one day designate to this day. But I like you to know that we are looking to you. We want to connect to you in all parts of the world, and tell you what we are doing, and you can tell us what you are doing as well. And in order to connect to us, we will present your work on the map, telling other people that you are doing something, benefiting this your rural development, and so on. So this is the way, you see, that how I connect to others, and I don't leave them behind. I'm still engage them to a certain extent. If you have to work only for member country, you will miss out other. So this is the way I want to connect to people. Use people center as the approach that I can reach them all. And if they're interested to connect to us, to utilize our knowledge and technology and so on, let them come. I invite all. Okay, is it clear? You understand what I mean? Miss
Yes,
Barua, Miss
yes, sir.
Barua.
Yes. I think so, sir.
Okay, okay, and you can see that some country want to come in. I am going to organize a meeting with ASEAN ambassador in August. ASEAN composed of 10 countries. They are interested in CERDAP now. They want
Oh, I see.
to talk with CERDAP. And I will tell you more in the future, because CERDAP is planning this. Just to tell you here that we are looking at ASEAN, some of ASEAN work like APTA. APTA is the ASEAN plus 3 Emergency Rights Reserve. This organization created by the ASEAN and located in Bangkok, Thailand, and they are looking after humanitarian assistance, providing rice stock to people in need in case of disaster and so on. That is one thing. Another thing, ASEAN has created the humanitarian assistance on disaster management. They call AHA Center. And CERDAP, in order to be operationalized, I'm going to connect these two for CERDAP. We will call CERDAP Center on Humanitarian Assistance on Disaster Management, or CISHA. This will be operational. We will coordinate not only ASEAN country but also country in South Asia. In case of disaster, we are going to provide a pledge of stock of food staple. We be able to coordinate with existing organization in the region, how we are going to help them in need. and providing information. We combine our laboratory on the geo informatic application CCGAT with this humanitarian assistance, and so that we can also help them in need, not just to work in our office only. We can coordinate and to reach them and to help them. So this is my plan. Do you like it?
Okay, sir. Sure.
Okay. I think that we now finish. I back to Secretariat, please.
Okay, thank you everyone for your participation. I will thank you, sir, for your presentation also. So I will send another invitation to all of you for our next webinar, which will be organized in August. So stay tuned with us, and also please visit in our website. And if you want to know anything about our activities or about or if any suggestion, you can directly connect with me. I'm connection officer working here. So thank you so much. Thank you. Now we are officially finishing this webinar.
Okay. Would it be possible to get the audio version of this of today's discussion?
Yeah, of course, we can send it to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Greetings, sir, from Vasanti Rajendran. On CIRDAP Foundation Day, I mean, hearty greetings to all of you in CIRDAP. I'm so sorry, sir, I was not able to be part of this session because simultaneously I was attending. I could not take an active part in this discussions, and I'm sure as Ms. Raki was mentioning, if you could share the audio, of this webinar. Definitely, I would like to respond to all the suggestions or discussions that has happened in this very important day of CIRDAP's Foundation Day.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I will share this audio to all of you. And now, sir, we are ending this webinar today. So thank you very much, and a good day to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Have a nice day.